Hello and welcome to the UnDateable Me Podcast. I am your host, the undateable Jimmy Lee Lard, the Sock Snob. And this is our weekly show that deals with the struggles of relationships and dating. But we don't just focus on the problems. Oh, no. We are on a journey to find solutions. And this week it must be serious because Holly has her breasts covered. She is in the bosom of the Lord. I don't know. Anyway, but we do this in a very entertaining way, and we are also going to be a little vulnerable in this episode in particular because Holly and I are talking about the emotional baggage you bring into new relationships. All right, so do you have junk in your trunk? Let's go. All right, we are back, and again, we are talking about bringing emotional baggage into your new relationship. You know, as we are on this road to get to that perfect relationship or, you know, a good relationship, a successful relationship, we kind of have to talk about what it is that we're bringing into it as well. And there's some stuff that we inadvertently, unintentionally bring with us.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't done some of the work that we've been talking about in this podcast series where we work on ourselves and get ourselves together first. And if we don't do that, we will sometimes find that we're bringing in things that shouldn't be there. And this new person is taking the brunt of that thing that has nothing to do with them, right? So what are we talking about? How does that manifest in a relationship, right? So you end up bringing in with you trust issues, intimacy issues, paranoia. You going through his phone. Why? Because the last dude was a dog, right? There's regret and guilt, stress in your relationship. Bringing, a lot of these things stem from different things, past relationships, childhood trauma, things that you observed your parents do, things that happened to you, and so on, right? And we're bringing that into this relationship. And Holly, let me tell you, sometimes when we do this, we want to build up to the tough thing that has to be said, but we're coming out the gate swinging. This is going to probably rub some people the wrong way, but it has to be said.
Let's hear it.
As an adult,
okay,
a human that is of age, you are responsible for your own shit. And a lot of people don't like to hear that. As an adult, you are responsible for your own shit, no matter where the shit came from.
That's true.
You can woe is me all you want. And this is not attacking anybody who's been through stuff. I've been through stuff, right? Holly's been through stuff. Everybody done been through some shit.
Very true.
Right? The problem is that we will take that and apply it to somebody or have somebody else suffer through our shit. But you have to take care of your stuff. When you have triggers, that's your responsibility.
Even if somebody triggers you for it or give you a reason for it?
If it's something you brought into it, yes. It doesn't matter that it's a good reason. Take care of it.
Right.
You know?
Because afterwards, it's up to you.
Right.
Okay.
You know, you can't expect everybody else for the rest of your life to walk on eggshells around you.
Right.
Because you are still whatever from something that happened in the last relationship or when you were 12 years old. That's your stuff. Now, when you go to the bathroom, who's supposed to wipe your ass when you're done?
You.
So it would not be fair to expect your new boyfriend to wipe your butt because it's not his thing.
Right.
You are responsible for your own stuff. We bring stuff into relationships that have nothing to do with that other person, drive them crazy, they leave, then we start a whole new cycle with the next one.
Right.
So we've talked about taking care of your mental health. If that's what you need to do, then do that.
Right.
Like I said, when I say no matter where the shit comes from, that's because some of it is serious stuff, right? Maybe you were molested as a child. Maybe you were beaten and abused. Maybe you were cursed out and told you weren't anything or whatever, right? It's legitimate stuff.
Yeah.
But why are you applying, why is that then being thrust upon somebody else? If you have had things happen to you, then take the step. And who knows, maybe you don't know to do that. That's why I'm telling you right now that you need to do that, right? If you were molested when you were, 9 or 10 years old, now you have intimacy issues. Don't be touching, whatever. You might want to take care of that before you enter into a relationship then.
Do you think that when you meet somebody that you think you're going to spend the rest of your life with, or you meet that, let me not even say that when you meet a partner or somebody and you kind of have those deep conversations with them about certain things that happen or certain things that rub you the wrong way, you kind of give the person like a playbook, like this, and this, and they kind of do it anyway.
Well, here's the thing. You see that a lot in relationships and sometimes about big things, sometimes about small things, right? Mm-hmm. I told him or I told her that bothers me, but they did it again. It's still your trigger. It's at the top and forefront of your head because it's a trigger of yours.
Right.
The fact that person forgot and did it again or whatever. And like I said, it could be small things. It could be big things. I have counseled people through situations where it's the smallest thing in the world, literally how somebody uses the bathroom, was a big thing for that person. The other person has been using the bathroom in the same way
all their life,
their entire lives. Now you expect that, you tell them you don't want them to do A, B, and C, and they stop it. But then at some point they forget and go back to what they've been doing all their lives. And now you're upset and, ready to get walk out of this relationship, get a divorce and all of that. It's your trigger. You are responsible for your trigger. If you're not going to fix it, then it is your responsibility to isolate yourself so that you're not impacted by that trigger. the two of you need a house with 2 bathrooms.
Right.
And then you go in yours and he goes in his.
So,
by the way, that is not the actual example, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
So
you set up something so that won't bother you?
You either, if you cannot get it fixed where it does not bother you anymore, because a lot of times those things are such minuscule things, right?
Yeah.
If you cannot do that, then you put safeguards in place so that you're not impacted by somebody doing that.
Okay.
Either, like I said, make sure you use separate bathrooms, or nothing. I'll be nice. Yeah.
No,
you put some guardrails around your life so that the thing that bothers you is not in your face.
Okay.
Because you can't be mad because you told them, but I told him, he know. And then you get to being paranoid and you're thinking they're doing it on purpose and all. He just was doing what he's been doing for 43 years. That's all.
Right.
So.
But how do we, what do I want to say? So how do we stop making that our responsibility? Well, putting that off on others, and, taking care of it ourselves. Because then if that's the case, then we're going to be, walking out of this relationship or walking out of this relationship.
I agree. That same problem is going to follow you into the next relationship, right?
Yeah.
So everything
or
has a
how big
root
it is.
Cause.
Right.
We get so dazzled by the trees and the flowers, you forget that shit is connected down a stem and there are roots down there. That's where it started, right? You need to get to the root of that problem. Now, we talk about therapy all the time, right? And maybe that's a place that can be an outlet where somebody can help guide you in an objective way through a situation, right? And help you see what an issue is and how to deal with it, right? But we still won't do it.
Right.
It ain't money. Because let me tell you, if you work, you more than likely have insurance, and insurance will more than likely cover it. And if you don't work, you're probably on some form of welfare or public assistance, and that shit comes with insurance too.
And do.
Right? So
it's no excuse.
Get out of my head. So eventually we get to the point where you just have to say, bitch, you could have taken care of that.
Yeah.
Right? Some people like to waddle in their mess as well. Because one thing about it, Jennifer Lewis had a quote in one of her books. Do I have her book up there? No, I don't. And she said something to the effect of, if you sit in shit long enough, it loses its stench. You get used to the smell. You ever been in the bathroom doing a number 2, a good old dookie, and you smelled it when it came out? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually it just starts to mellow out, right?
Yeah.
It didn't mellow out. Your nose just got used to it.
Right.
Still there, right? So like I said, we will sometimes sit in our own pain, sit in our own misery or whatever. Sometimes we want people to feel sorry for us because for some folks, that's their lifeline to other folks, If I cry loud enough, they'll come and, give me some attention or whatever. So, right. But at some point, you have to remember that you are responsible for that. You need to fix it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not while your partner is there can be there to support you through stuff, it's your responsibility to fix your stuff.
Yeah. Because I know people at the age of, in their 40s and still
You better not be talking about me, whatever you finna say.
No.
Okay.
No. But
I think just because your little husband here, I ain't gonna say nothing to you. Bullshit.
Well, sis was talking about it. It's my baby daddy. My baby daddy going on 40. Ain't got no job.
Wait, no, be serious. No.
I'm serious. I'm serious. You ain't got no job, Tommy. You don't want to do nothing with your life, and it's like you want to blame everybody for your problems and, I didn't have this, or my mama was this.
Y'all, I promise I did not know that this is where this was going.
I ain't scared. What my husband right here.
Don't get it twisted.
I ain't scared.
And your brother here too.
Yeah, and my brother here too.
I ain't scared either. But nonetheless, I did not know that this is where that was about to go.
Yes.
So,
and it's such a shame. And I think that you see that in people and you want to say so bad, like, snap out of it.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listen.
Because it's slow at this point. You're too old.
Now, some people don't say I'm emotionless because I have emotions. But people sometimes ask how I get through difficult situations sometimes. So first and foremost, I don't believe in luck and coincidences, accidents, all of that stuff. I believe that things happen exactly the way they're supposed to happen. So, with that, ideology, it's easier to accept things, right? But another thing is, even the worst thing, a parent passing away, a child passing away, or whatever. Now, this is not me telling anybody how to grieve, but you can only sit in a sunken, dark place for so long before it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I've seen people, I'm old, right? I've seen people who like to wallow in that, like, when they talk about the light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes the light is 4 feet in front of you and they will stay in that dark place.
Yeah, because they choose to.
Because they choose to, right? So, and by the way, we can't rescue everybody. So like I said, I can be a support to you, but at some point, that person's going to move on and be like, look, I'm trying to walk in my light. I'm going to leave this bitch over here midnight.
Because at some point, you got to want to help yourself.
Right, yes. Because it's your responsibility.
And we circle back around to
I can make some circles now. I can make some circles. So you definitely want to take care of your mental health. Another thing, so that's that. So we know that we need to address our own mental health and those things we brought into this relationship with us. Another thing is, stop putting the horrible stuff your last man did taking that and applying it to this new man.
Or woman.
Or one. Yes, I'm sorry. Or woman. I'm gay, and I sometimes forget that people like Jordan exist or whatever, or they're woman-woman relationships, man-man, whatever, man-woman. So you know what I'm talking about. All of this information, even from my old gay self, applies to everybody. So as a disclaimer, in case I forget, or Holly, is like, I'm tired of reminding his fat ass. So,
no.
Okay. So we need to stop blaming them or applying the stuff that other people did on them. We like to cut and paste problems on folks or whatever, because what happens is you end up in a relationship all guarded and you don't want to let nobody in. Why? Because the last one took advantage of you. They ain't got nothing to do with this person. What did she do to you? What did he do to you? Right? Mm-hmm. So that was the other dude you kept letting use your car and pick your dumb ass up at the end of the day, right? Goofy. So look, we're not trying to step on people's. Yes, we are.
Yeah, right.
Take your own damn car to work.
Because it's your own shit.
It's your own shit.
But I'm talking shit. I've done this.
Yeah, I mean,
I've done this.
but you grow up you go and move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of folks listening to this probably just had a flashback. They dumb ass. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to call y'all dumb when I say this, because I would say it happened to me, but I would be lying. I had my own shit with me. But, you just had a flash. You know who you are.
Me.
You just had that flashback. You sitting outside work, all your coworkers passing you by like, girl, you all right? Yeah, he on his way.
Here come this motherfucker coming down the street 30 minutes late doing 90.
Right. Okay. And then your car smelling like perfume, some old cheap shit. And you're like, this bitch got on Bath and Body Works or whatever. Okay. But anyway. So like I said, this is one of those situations that will possibly cause you not to trust your new partner over stuff that somebody else did, right? Being paranoid, going through phones, putting bug in your own house to catch him doing stuff. Because there's a couple people who I know will be listening who I know have done this. Right? So
I would just shut up because I was in the trunk about 2 months ago. No, not even 2 months ago. It was like 4 months ago.
What?
Yes.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you mean by you were in a trunk. Is that a metaphor?
No.
For?
And first of all, motherfucker be going through some things, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We married, we happy. Okay. But, sometimes motherfucker be pushing your button. So I had my brother drop me off at his job, and I got into his car. I took a garbage bag. I got in the trunk, and I put the garbage bag over myself, and I waited for him to get off work. And he was driving. I was like, yeah, I'm going to listen to this bitch conversation, blah, blah. It was just so hot. And I was texting my best friend like, oh, my God, girl, I am so hot. I cannot wait for him to get off work. Yes.
Jordan.
And I popped up. I popped right up like, oh.
Jordan, I didn't know how much you needed my prayers. Jordan, I'm praying for you, brother. First of all,
it's my own shit.
Wait, listen.
I'm going to do it.
What I'm going to say on this is, I'm not going to expound much further, except the part where your ass is in this hot trunk covered in a garbage bag.
I got a picture, too. I swear to God.
Okay. So I'm not going to go any further into that, but I just want I want you to realize.
You speaking to me? Come on. I'm with y'all now at this point.
That it may not be the most normal thing.
That ain't even the craziest thing I've done.
Okay. Whatever you do, shut your ass up. I don't want to hear nothing else that you specifically have done. Okay. So, but you have to admit that it is probably not the most normal thing to dress up like Missy Elliott and get in the fucking trunk of... I wasn't expecting none of this shit right there. So, all right. Ooh, I'm crying. Yes, so, all right. So, in other words, if that was a result of things that, you observed in previous relationships or whatever, then don't do it. Now, there's some stuff that you do for calls. We're going to let that go. But if it's causing you to be paranoid, to be guarded, to just not be enjoying your relationship, then you might want to take a more objective look at that and figure out what it is then that you need to do. All right. Another thing that we have to consider is that everybody doesn't have your experiences, especially your childhood shit, right?
Yeah.
How you were raised is different from how this person was raised. Different people will have different values. Different people will do things different ways. You may fold your clothes in a certain way. Jordan is like, I don't fold my shirts like that. I, do this, this, and this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is better? Neither.
Right.
It's just that you do it one way, he does it another way. Either way, at least they ain't sitting in a basket collecting dust.
Or sitting on the bed in a pile.
Or that. Right? So we have this thing where we try to force people to live life the way we live life. See life the way we see things. I can think of a couple friends right away that I'm always trying to stress upon them. That's what you would do. That doesn't mean that she or he does that thing that way.
Right.
And the first thing they always say is, stuff like, well, I would think, if it was me, stop right there. That's not you.
Oh, you so wise.
Thank you.
I'm going to start calling you my problems.
I'm old as hell. That's what it is. You know what it took to get to be 47 years old?
What?
46 years, bitch. What did you think? Hell. So anyway.
I thought you said come full circle again. I was waiting on it.
Although, let me tell you, I ain't got no problem taking responsibility for my own shit. All right. So as I'm choking to death over here now. But again, I think that sometimes we, like I said, try and look at life through our eyes. And then even worse than that, this is the real kicker, trying to force your partner to look at life through your last partner's eyes. And this is, this was the way that because there were some things, even with exes, there's some things that you liked about them. And, they did this a certain way, whatever, right? This ain't that.
Right.
Go back to that one that was hitting you upside your head if you wanted that other thing.
Right.
Right. So we just have to be careful not to expect people to be us, to be what our expectations for relationship or this particular situation or this task. As long as you get to the end point, it doesn't matter how you got there.
Right.
I don't care if you took a boat or if you took a plane, as long as you got there in the end, right? Same result. Another thing is, we want to have open communication in our relationships, right? You want to be able to talk about anything. For me, that is probably like the bedrock of a relationship, in my opinion, when you can share anything with your partner and not feel judged, or even if they do judge, it's maybe something sly or whatever, I'm talking about where you can just tell them some disgusting shit that you like, babe, you would not believe I just went in that bathroom in Target and blew it up, whatever, and then more intimate things, more serious things than that, right? Mm. So in my opinion, that is the bedrock of any relationship. However, that's there are some men who don't even want to know that they women shit, and vice versa.
That's so weird to me.
It is very weird because it is a natural human bodily function. If you're a mammal, bitch, you gonna shit.
Yeah. I don't know what show.
And then when you do shit, who's responsible for it? You are. So, right. So, yeah. But what I want to get at here, though, is we want to have open communication. But I want you to remember that she or he is not your therapist.
Oh, that's deep.
As much as you want to be able to share anything, sometimes you have to pull back a little bit. At first, I've told you before, everybody can't handle all your stuff.
Right.
Right. But this person is not your therapist.
True.
Take that shit to Oprah. Because that's not his job. His job is to love you. His job is to protect you. Her job is to this. Her job is to that. But it doesn't mean that that it is their job or that they are qualified to be your therapist.
Yeah.
Hell. Excuse me. I'm choking to death here, y'all. Hell. For one thing, you making bad decisions. His ass making bad decisions. Shit. Y'all be in jail fucking with each other, right? So everybody is not qualified to give you advice and guide you or whatever. So I'm literally, there's tears coming down my face. So this takes us back to the beginning. If there's something where your mental health is concerned, seek a professional. If it's just good advice about this situation, that situation, get that one good girlfriend that you got that gives the good advice.
The good Judies.
Not the other one that'll be having you throwing bricks through people's windows or whatever.
That's when they call me.
That's when they call Holly, right? So you just want to make sure that if it's something that your significant other cannot handle, then you seek outside of them for that assistance with that thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. So what say you, Holly? That's, we talked about a few things there. Like I said, I'm just trying to get people to own their stuff, preferably before you get into a relationship.
Yeah.
But, sometimes, hey, the moonlight hits just right and you two fall in love. And you still have some stuff to work on. Just do the work.
That's true. I feel like I give everybody people that I've dated or was with, I feel like I give everybody a clean slate until I feel
good.
like, until I feel like you didn't. Yep. And that's just not in my marriage. That's my friendships, that's what my kids, I'm going to stick by you until until the glue not sticking no more.
Right. For me, I'm the same way. I don't put. Remember when I was telling you about Frank ass a long time ago?
Fuck Frank.
Fuck Frank, right? And I told you that I almost said her name. That somebody told me right up front, like, you don't want to fool with him. He uses people, blah blah blah. I literally tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what? I have not experienced the things that she's. Now, that's not to say, by the way, now, I'm not one of those people who says stuff like, I have to experience it for myself. Bitch, no, I don't. If I'm sitting here looking at your dumb ass drive off the side of a cliff, what do I look like doing the same thing, right? I don't need to experience driving off a cliff to know that it's not good for my physical health, right? So I'm not one of those people. But again, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because maybe what situations she experienced with him or that she had observed of him, maybe that was something specific to that. Now, she was right. She was right as hell. Fuck Frank. But, it's just one of those things. So what else? Anything you want to say about bringing emotional baggage into your new relationship?
Yeah, it's okay to cry.
It is. That's always, yes.
Yeah, I think that men don't cry enough, and then when they do, people are like really like down on them, or But I want to see all those versions of you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you definitely gonna see all those versions of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, I think that crying can be a form of release, obviously.
Release, yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of our men have been groomed in a society that says things like, crying is weakness, or not that they've probably ever been specifically told that, although sometimes, boy, stop crying like a little girl or whatever, what I mean? Those types of things, right? But I'm pointing towards the street, man, as I say this, because I wish a bitch would tell me I can't cry. But anyway, so, I think a lot of times people grow up with that mentality that's just one of those things society puts on our boys, and they really should stop. All right. And then let me get close to my mic, and I have to be careful how I say this because I don't want my video to get snatched down.
Oh.
But then we sit around and wonder why they essing up schools, SHOO schools, or whatever, right? And churches and movie theaters and all of that stuff, right? Now they now have all this built up tension and societal pressures and all of that stuff.
Emotional stress.
And then they blow, literally. Yeah. All right. So, so that's a horrible thing. So again, I think I just, like I said, wanted to impress upon you that emotional baggage is one of those things that you really should not bring into a new relationship. And if we want, our goal here is to have as successful a relationship as we can possibly have. That does not mean that you don't have dips. That does not mean that every now and then a bitch got to get in the trunk of a car. No. But yeah, that's it for this week's episode. By the way, I am so happy to say that our Sock Mob community is up and running. So make sure you join us on YouTube. Just search for Sock Snob Films, Sock Snob Films on YouTube. We are having a lot of fun over there. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and we are going to we're going to see you next week. So thank you again, Holly, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Take it easy, everybody. Let's go.
Don't forget to subscribe.
I see you hanging around, but I don't have much to say to you.